Remarketing is pretty cool. It's the whole idea about this revolving system, which we've talked about before, and you see it in the filters, right? Right off the bat, we're talking about 30-day remarketing because it's so easy to forget people and lose contacts, and they fall between the cracks, and you go, oh man. 6 months later, you go, oh shoot, I forgot to call that person. Or a year and a half later, it's like, oh man, I should have been calling those people off that list. This way, you almost never forget. So, in addition to calling, because look at and then we have remarketing calls if you want to divide them up into chunk them, I should say, into prospects or refers. That's a smart way to do things. Or at the end of every month, the beginning of every month is how we do it. We send out an email, and so you're going to at least divide these up into prospects and refers, because we've talked about the whole idea of we don't like newsletters. We don't like things that are created for the masses. I want the feeling when I receive something that it's specifically for me, not for everybody else. They were thinking of me. And so we'll talk about that more when we talk about semi-custom messages. But let's look just real quick at this 30-day marketing formula. We can look at the formula here. So everybody here is more than 30 days or more since we last contacted them. And the status does not include people don't want to contact. So it's 30 days or more. Now let's go over here and let's look at these filters for emailing, because they're going to be a little bit different. Now, a couple other things. So it's not, the status does not equal not yet contacted, because we are not going to email people we haven't contacted, right? Because they have to opt in. And the type in this one is we're sending out to prospects, so the type is prospect. Remarketing is yes. That's another little safeguard that says yes, they have opted into remarketing, go. And Connect will only send emails to contacts where remarketing is yes. Otherwise, it won't send them. And status does not equal do not contact. We don't want to send email to icky people we never want to get a hold of. So then we just click over here and we send out whatever our semi-custom message is, right? We go over and we choose, we acknowledge, and remember we choose the email that we want to send, and we send it out. And so we do that every month. And what this allows us to do, if you've been taught any sort of sales or prospecting, or you didn't just fall off the moon, everybody teaches this old-fashioned crappy way of going about it called a sales funnel, where it's like you go talk to 100 people, 90 are going to say no, and sometimes very aggressively. 10 will be interested, 2 won't qualify. You'll have a shot at 8, and you'll close 25%, and you'll get 1 or 2 accounts. And that's how we've been taught for years and years and years. Well, that's the old-fashioned way, and it's very wasteful. It's very ineffective. What about those other 98 people who didn't say yes? Sure, you're going to follow up with a couple, but most of them get left behind. Very ineffective, very inefficient, very wasteful. And what remarketing allows you to do is keep in contact with pretty much everybody. It's more of a ballooning fashion. Instead of funneling out and blowing people in your wake, in your wake as exhaust, what you're going to do is keep most everybody in a balloon and keep in contact and this is how it allows you to do it. This whole circulating system of calling and just talking to the people that you are, as you get bigger and bigger, you're really only going to be talking to A targets. But this remarketing, broadcast email remarketing, allows you to keep in contact with everybody as long as they've opted in. And the words that we choose to get them to opt in, because opting in right now, become aware of what canned spam laws are. Please look it up, because if you're broadcast emailing, you fall under that. But opting in is the kind of the buzz sort of word, or the thing that people need to do. They can either opt in on an email. They can say, yes, I want you to send that to me, or they can tell you verbally, yeah, go ahead and send it to me. So one of the things that we'll do is, like in a sales scenario, go, hey, I understand time's not right. This is for people who say no, right? I understand that timing's not right. Why don't we just keep in contact? Because, who knows? You wake up in a cold sweat 6 months from now and go, yeah, I just have to talk to John Elias, and at least you'll still have my contact information. I'll just send something, be very courteous about it from time to time, maybe some new updates or something that you might find interesting. No pressure. I'm not going to bombard you. Fair enough. And most people are cool with that. And when they say yes, they've opted in. They can always unsubscribe. It's really no big deal. But that's what we do. So Remarketing allows you to keep in contact with everybody. Just the opposite of that old crappy sales funnel. Make sure you use the words to get them opting in. And we like to contact folks anywhere from 14 to 45 days. That way they remember you. And it gives them the opportunity when they're ready to get an email from you and they go, oh, geez, I'm glad that John sent me that because I've been thinking about that. For them, it's serendipity. For you, it's strategy. And that's remarketing. Talk to you soon.